My name is John. This is my beautiful wife Tanya, and our wonderful kids Jasmine, Ariel, Aaron, and Arlen. We're serving as missionaries in Ukraine. I grew up in Ukraine part of my life, and Tanya is from Ukraine. All of our kids were born in Ukraine, so Ukraine plays a really important part in our hearts. Since 2011, when we were able to go to get some training and get equipped at Bethel Supernatural School of Ministry, God's really put Ukraine in our hearts. We felt like God was calling us back to Ukraine. While we were at Bethel, we received prophetic words about taking what we have and transferring it to our leaders in Ukraine, and that was something that really became kind of our vision for what we're doing here. So a large part of our ministry right now has to do with worship, leading worship, pastoring worship teams and leaders. We have like more than 4 new worship leaders that I've discipled, that I'm just really excited about, that are starting to write songs and lead worship, that are very young. Some of them are as young as like 17 years old, but they're writing amazing worship songs and leading worship around Ukraine, and it's really amazing to see. And also we do a lot of outreach ministry with trying to reach the lost and just ministering to the poor. I've always had a heart for reaching the poor, and me and Tanya both just share a passion for finding the poorest of the poor, the most broken people, and just reaching them with God's love and hugging them, feeding them. Right now we have 3 locations where we feed poor people and try to just minister to them, heal them, get them saved, preach the gospel to them, just love on them. One of them, we actually have 120 people that come, which is, it's not just us there. There's a few other pastors that come that feed the poor there, and then we bring tea for them, and we have a team of young people that just come with us to minister to them and love on them. In 6 months now, we've actually started 2 new locations. They're actually recycling centers where a lot of the homeless people or poor people come to these centers to turn in like different materials like bottles and cardboard and whatnot.
Right now we have 50 people that we feed every week, and it's not just about feeding, because everybody can feed. I think it's the easiest thing to do. But something's going on there, as if like Jesus, he came and he opened heaven and opened their hearts. The Feast of Love is when we invite people who are broken and homeless and poor, and we want to
just let them experience an extravagant experience of His love.
We have waiters who are serving food to them, it's all decorated. We serve them not the plastic plates, but we serve them real silverware, and we just pray for them, heal them. And in the end, we dance with them together to celebrate the love of God, and we give them presents, which is winter boots, hats, underwear, socks, gloves, chocolates. And they even asked us question, why are you guys doing that for us? Nobody ever loved us like you guys do. They've been talking about Feast of Love like for 2 weeks. They were shining and glowing, and the most important thing, they met Jesus there more deeply in such a unique way. This flower is very, very precious to me. I have it in my kitchen when I cook food. I always look at it. After Feast of Love, after they've been lavished with love and heard the gospel, and this flower was given to me by one of the men, just like a gift, because he was so thankful and he wanted to give us something. And in a week or so, we found out that he passed away. It was winter. We found out that in a month, 15 people just died because they've been living in such a severe conditions. But the hope is, and the joy, that he met Jesus, and hopefully I'll see him in heaven. And this flower tells me that there is always hope for people who doesn't have any hope. Society doesn't have answers for them. Society rejected them. They rejected themselves. They're not even trying to fight. But Jesus, he has hope for them, like a new flower in the spring.
We really have a vision of planting churches in Ukraine and villages. That's just one thing God's put in our hearts that we're still trying to develop, that we're trying to move towards. We have some people that are already doing things in villages, but we really want to expand that. We want to send people out as missionaries to the villages of Ukraine. And once I had a vision, I just saw all the villages. It was like God was just showing me them, and he said, if you want, I'll give you all of them. I remember when I first saw that vision, it's just stuck in my heart and to this day, like that's something that still just burns on our hearts, just to see the gospel grow out. So that's kind of the goal. We basically just raise up disciples that are just like soldiers that you could just drop into any country, drop into any village, and they'll know what to do. I really believe Ukraine's ready to start sending out missionaries and ready to be the breadbasket that it's been prophesied about being, and actually sending missionaries out to other countries, whether it be the Middle East or Africa, and that's starting to happen. And we're hoping to be a part of that, and we just have a real passion for seeing we're believers but haven't really stepped into their calling, haven't stepped into moving in the supernatural and prophesying, healing the sick, and just making disciples. Thank you so much for your support and for your prayers. We really, really appreciate it. And please pray for Ukraine.